Shout out Q. Shout out Q.
Coach, obviously not the result you want, getting out to that hot lead. What do you think changed there to get the game tied at half?
I think we, fell apart a little bit there defensively, and that's ultimately what got them back in the game.
Yeah, did you guys kind of like switch to man for a little while after that zone start? Was any like thought process there for that?
We did. We wanted to put some pressure on the ball, just see how they handled it. We went back to our diamond press, and they still were getting easy buckets off of it. We were just getting out and rebounded.
Yeah.
And I saw, were you playing up in the front court a little bit and then changed? Were you experimenting with some of that, or what were you doing up in that aspect?
Yeah, we were kind of switching it up just to see what different looks we could get, and then we were also switching it up defensively just to see what different pressure we could give them, and just kind of fell apart defensively.
Yeah, and that spurred at the end of the first half. Just anything particular that just Millbrook being aggressive and finishing at the basket. What did you feel was key?
Oh yeah, I think them finishing at the basket really turned the game around for them, and we just didn't box out and get boards or finish even.
Yeah, and obviously Reagan with her foul trouble always makes a big difference. Just how do you feel like you guys adjusted, all things considered, without having her on the floor?
I think we beat ourselves overall, and we just got to learn from it and grow.
Although despite the loss, it seemed like your girls were out there being aggressive. The intensity was high too. I would imagine a game like this leaves a bitter taste in their mouth. How do you look to maybe add to that fuel to come out even stronger next game to try to flush this game and get another win?
Yeah, obviously the last two games have not gone our way. I think we beat ourselves in both games. So we got to really attach ourselves to defense and just work through that. And if we play good defense and get rebounds, it's a different game.
and obviously it's too early to say like what Olivia's situation is going to be, but anything you would do like personnel-wise if she has to miss like a little bit of time? Or?
Yeah, we're going to have to see what the outcome for her is and make adjustments from there.
Yeah, just figure it out in practice, basically.
Yeah, well, we have a game tomorrow, so we don't really have a practice to figure it out.
So basically flush this one out quickly and get ready for the next game.
Yeah, that's all we can do.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Jaliah Jackson now joining me. Big win, district opponent. The Handley Judges getting that victory. First and foremost, just how does it feel coming back, scoring 16? How'd you feel?
It feels great, honestly. I was a little out of it because I was out for so long, but it feels great to come back and get that win with those points.
Was it a factor in your mind being out for so long that there might be some rust, or did it just knock off right away?
There was definitely some rust. I knew that going into the game, but it was just push through it and get through it. That way I could actually handle my team. 16
points. What really worked well with your game tonight and your game plan in your mind?
Just attacking, and there's nobody stopping me in between the basket and myself. So just keep attacking. The defenders are just people that are just there. They're not doing anything to me.
Coach Bartlett mentioned early on that you all had to sort of like settle in the beginning of the game. You're down pretty big, a couple jump balls, some loose balls, some turnovers, so on and so forth. Just take me through, was there sort of a message, what stood out to you and the team to sort of cut that lead down and tie the game going into halftime?
Play as a team and keep working no matter how hard it got. Just keep going. It wasn't over until that clock said 0-0 in the fourth quarter.
And defensively, too, can you just touch on what you saw? A couple steals in the second half of play. There's some big steals coming off Handley trying to drive down in the paint. What stood out defensively in your mind and collectively?
Our help defense. If somebody got beat, we were there to help our teammate and recover for that so they didn't score.
And it seems like offensively, too, you, Jane, the rest of the team were working well together to pass the ball, get those open shots. How connected did you feel the offense was in this game tonight?
I felt it was very connected. Like, we were all there, we were all sharing the ball, and we just all wanted to score.
Jaliah, congratulations on the win. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much.
Jane Moreland joining me, the leading scorer for the Millbrook Lady Pioneers. I know you were out for a little bit of time, but how did it feel? I know being out, maybe some rust, but how did you feel getting back in there and playing as well as you did?
My body's definitely feeling a lot better. I was kind of sick, and it just feels good to be able to breathe and like have my stamina back.
Looking on early in this game, you're down pretty big to Handley. What sort of stood out to you and the team, and what do you think was the turning point?
We really just had to stay confident in ourselves. A lot of times we'll get down, we're younger, we get in our heads, but we just had to stick with it and stay on top of things, and we just kept battling the whole game.
Tied going into halftime, it seemed like the momentum changed, and Coach Bartlett mentioned that you all just settled in and played your game plan. How well did that game plan work out for you all?
I think when we executed it, it looked great. I mean, our game plan going into it was just attack the rim, feed me and Jaliah in the post, and then be really disciplined on defense, which I think we did a lot better than we usually do on.
I don't think I got to mention this last time we spoke, but a couple times you and your sister were on the court passing back and forth a little bit. Well, what's that like?
It's my favorite thing about playing this year. Obviously, we've got to play, travel, and wreck our whole lives together, but this just means a lot more to us, and we've been waiting our whole lives to be able to play together, so it's a lot of fun.
And obviously, offensively, it looked like you, Jaliah, most of the team were pretty connected, knew what you were doing game plan-wise, getting that open shot. How do you feel you all looked offensively in the win?
I really just think the deeper we get into the season, the more we can play together. We get used to where we go. A lot of times we don't even have to look to see where our players are. We know where they're supposed to be, and we're really good at going to the spots that are open and just finding each other.
And just from a confidence boost, I know the past couple of games not the result you want, but going out, getting a win against a good Handley squad, just confidence building off of that, how huge is something like that?
Oh, we definitely feel pretty good. It's all just hard fights for us, and when we come out on top, it's a lot of fun.
Jane, really appreciate your time. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Coach Cary Bartlett, Millbrook Lady Pioneers getting the victory over Handley. First and foremost, must be pretty huge to come out there and make a statement win. Jaliah back. Jane looked like she was healthy. How did it feel in your mind?
Well, I mean, a win is a win, and we'll take it, especially a district win. Being against Handley in a rivalry and the record and the expectation that I'm sure everybody thought that they were going to come in and walk all over us. So, yeah, it's a big win for us.
Was it good having them back? Sort of, did it give your team a spark in a sense, having Jaliah back in the lineup and making plays when needed?
I mean, they're our security blankets. They're our leaders. The leadership is there. They kept the younger kids focused and locked in. So yeah, they're kind of our guiding light.
Yeah, early in the game, obviously you're down pretty heavy to Millbrook. Sort of, was there a message or something said to sort of bring you back to tie it to at halftime? And obviously in the second half, you know, some poor basketball in a sense, turnovers here and there, jump balls. But was there sort of a message, or what did you see in your mind?
No, we just needed to settle down. You know, that early part of that game, you got a lot of excitement, a lot of anxiety and nerves, and so they just had to settle in. And once they did that, we really started executing.
Yeah, and obviously when you settled in, you made some good plays, some steals along the way, some defensive rebounds off Handley's missed shots. What really stood out to you in that aspect? Was there any one thing that stood out to you that your girls really did well tonight?
Executed our game plan, and on both ends of the floor, they did exactly what we had game planned for, and that's probably the first game all year where I can say that they've done that for the entire game.
And just from a confidence level, looking at this game, a big district win, and I know your team has been through a lot with the injuries and sickness, however you put it, but just confidence-wise, what does this mean for you in the group?
Well, it shows to them and proves to them that they're capable of playing with anybody. If they do the detail work, they execute the way we ask, we follow the game plan and the script, and we take care of the basketball and rebound.
I know you were out there on the court, last but not least. Just take me through the atmosphere you saw in your home court district games. They always show out loud and proud. What were your thoughts?
I mean, as a basketball player and a coach or a sports fan in general, if you don't love this kind of environment, then you're in the wrong place. So you love the electricity, you love the community support for both teams, and honestly, I feel like this represents Winchester, not just Millbrook. You know, this is Handley and Millbrook. It represents the whole community.
Millbrook Lady Pioneers with the win over the Lady Judges. Coach, appreciate your time.
Appreciate you having me. Thank you.